Study of microwave components. Here I have list of 17 components: rectangular waveguide, fixed attenuator, tunable probe, waveguide detector mount, klystron mount, circulators, slide screw tuner, multi-hole directional coupler, E-plane T, H-plane T, magic T, mobile shot, match termination, pyramidal waveguide horn antenna, gun oscillator, pin modulator and isolator. So I will show all the components. Here you can see all the components are there. Here you can see all the components as per the list, 17 components. Here is the tunable probe. This is waveguide detector mount. This is klystron mount. We have to insert here tube. That I will show one by one. When I start showing one by one components, I will explain that. Isolator, SS tuner or slide screw tuner, multi-hole directional coupler. This is E-plane T. This one H-plane T. Next line magic T, mobile shot. There is a back side, we can move this variable. This is 50 ohms match termination, pyramidal horn antenna. This one is over in this first line only. I made 2 lines to cover all 17 components. So next, this is gun oscillator, pin modulator and finally last one isolator. So all 17 components are here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I don't have 2 components, that is one normal rectangular waveguide and fixed attenuator. So remaining all 15 I have. I will show one by one. This is your tunable probe. So in this tunable probe, so this is the pickup point, this edge is the pickup point of RF signal. After pickup signal, it is connected to here. Here is one microwave diode. I will show you one microwave diode also. So after that, you are receiving a detected output from this BNC socket and it is connected to VSWR meter, CRO, any measuring instrument. So here we can adjust a 50 ohms in this point C. So I can move this. See, I can vary this. So by moving this, I can adjust the 50 ohms to get the maximum output, RF output here. Means after RF is detected, it becomes AF, audio frequency. So when your RF is adjusted to 50 ohms line, then RF power is maximum and detected power also become maximum. On watching CRO or VSWR meter, I have to adjust this to get the maximum power output. When it is matched only, I will get the maximum power at exactly matched to 50 ohms. I will remove and show you this tunable probe. See, this I can remove. This is insulator is there here. So this will go inside this pin. See, there is a pin. When it will become somewhere, it will match to 50 ohms, then I will get the maximum power. This also I can remove. See, this is the pin. when it is exactly matches the 50 ohm, there I can leave. So these two components, and this is one more. I am removing this also. By opening this align screw, I opened already. If suppose pin length is more, this is sufficient. Now what I am showing, that is correct. Suppose if it is more, you can decrease. See, I can decrease after removing this Allen key. After adjusting, you can lock it. So now I will dismantle and show you. But without knowledge, you do not dismantle, then it is becomes very difficult to assemble it, reassemble it. It is not possible without proper knowledge. So this pin, see, your RF signal is picking from this point, and then it's come to this pin, and from this side we are actually using this, we are matching the 50 ohms impedance. Also here is the pickup point that will connect to microwave diode, and then it is detected. RF signal is received from here, impedance is matched in this side, and signal is picked up here. I will show you here. So I can remove this. See, I can remove this. Here is the BNC socket. See, this one is a microwave diode. So RF signal received and detected here with a microwave diode. See, here is the one microwave diode. So please do not touch both ends, anode and cathode. Suppose you are now, I am holding one side, anode, and this side I don't want to touch this. Don't touch. This is your microwave diode. See, there is a symbol which is anode, which is cathode. My finger on with anode, another side is cathode. So there is a point, it will come out. If I pull this, it will come out, then it is very difficult to assemble it. I will show you that where that point is comes. See, here the point, there is one slot is there, see, it is visible clearly. So there is a hole. I am rotating this side also insulated, because if it is connect with the metal part, then it will be short. So this is point inside, where from this side RF signal is picked up, and here it is connected to microwave diode, and that is detected. So I am inserting a diode here. I have a diode that should be go on fit with that hole. You do not remove. Now it is locked. So after that I cannot vary this. It is gone through hole. After that I can connect this. So I can connect this. So pin is out. Here one more is there. Can connect this. Then this should be go with this pin. This is reassembled. Nice. So this operates in X band, that is around 8.2 to 12.4 gigahertz. So this is your tunable probe. It is used to measure the lambda and VSWR. It is used in slotted section. There is a slot provided for tunable probe. There we are using this tunable probe. This is waveguide detector mount. Same operating frequency, 8.2 gigahertz to 12.4 gigahertz. Here I can vary this. You can observe that microwave diode here also. See, it is visible. So whatever the RF signal we are receiving through this detector, that is connected to BNC here top. Here we are receiving the detected output through BNC, that is connected to CRO or VSWR meter. I can vary this. What's the use of these variations means? I have one this device I cutted in between. I will show you. See, this one I have using a hacksaw frame. I cut this into two parts. So after cutting this, see, this is the inside reflectors and this is a dielectric white one. I can rotate this. You observe it will go inside after rotating. See, it's going inside. I am rotating this. That will go inside. See. So if I rotate anti-clockwise, it will come out. So it is already fully removed. I can show you. See, this is the structure inside. This is actually dielectric material. This is reflectors. When this detector, you are tuning this, it will go backside and it will come front. So it will come up to here only. I will show you with this part how much distance it can vary. You can lock it. You just observe what is that. See. So that means it will come up to here only. See. It will reach up to here, not more than this. It will not go to after this diode and all. So when RF signal is coming to your waveguide entry point, so that will, suppose your reflector is here and that RF signal exactly reflects back with the in-phase signal, then forward power and reverse power is added. In phase means, suppose 1 milliwatt power is coming to here, this point, and that diode is received. After detecting, it will give AF power. So if reflected power also in phase, then both are in phase means it will add it. Suppose 1 milliwatt forward power reflected it half milliwatt, then I have received 1.5 milliwatt added. Suppose I adjust to somewhere to set like a reflect in out of phase power. If varying this, somewhere in phase, somewhere out phase, I will get. So when it is out of phase, suppose for example 1 milliwatt is forward power and reflected out phase with a point of milliwatt, then 1 watt minus half watt because it is out of phase 180 degree, then my output is half milliwatt. So when I am rotating this and adjusting this length, mechanical tuning, it is called mechanical tuning, then my output is normally it varies. Normally what we are doing, we are adjusting to get the maximum. So that means reflected power also it is in phase. So that's what we are always tuning this. Otherwise somewhere exactly it is reflecting all the power. Suppose 1 milliwatt forward power and reflected power also 1 milliwatt means what happens? 1 cancel out, my output is 0. Sometimes in some particular point it will make it will go to 0 also. So when we are conducting the experiment and using the detector mount, we have to tune it to get the maximum Vmax. So that's what they provided this. Okay, we will go to next component. This is klystron mount. So So this mount is helpful to connect the power supply to klystron tube. So this Actel connector is there. This will go to klystron power supply. There is also Actel, this is male connector, and in klystron power supply female connector is there. So we will plug it to there in klystron power supply. And here one more, these cables are coming. At what pin what supplies are coming, it is already explained in operating instructions for klystron power supply. If you have any doubts, please watch that video. Details, which is rippler, which is beam, and which is filament, pin details are given in that video, klystron power supply operating instructions. And this output is for, this is rippler output coming from power supply. And here also you have a tuning. In previous detector mount I explained same thing, you have to adjust this also. By adjusting all this, we have to avoid as possible as to reduce the reflections. So this is your klystron mount. So there is nothing, there is no diode and all, this is empty, and I have to insert klystron tube. I will show how to insert this klystron tube. I have to insert from this hole only, where both the holes are matching. In the waveguide, see here, this hole and this hole. So this pin will go to inside. Should not connect any other pins, because there is no hole, it will damage. So here you have to connect, and see that will come down, coming down. So that should go to that hole. So it is connected. It will go inside the waveguide. So here see, that pin is there. Clearly visible, that pin is there. If I remove, I will remove, see, gone. So now insert it. So that pin should come and appear here. So after oscillation generates, that will come out from that pin only. So that should be inserted in klystron mount. So then afterwards it will, RF will be, this is a generator, it will passing through wherever we are connecting. Normally we are connecting after immediate this klystron mount, we are connecting a isolator. This is your klystron mount. Operating frequency is 8.2 to 12.4 gigahertz. So these all connections, rippler voltage, filament voltage, and all given. Okay. This rippler wire should connect here. The next device is circulator. This is circulator. See, 3 ports are there. This side no port. This side no port, and remaining 3, 1, 2, and 3. So in this circulator, what happens? Suppose my input is here, RF input, I connected to this port, and it will available at next port, next, but not at this port. Suppose I am connecting to this port, I will get in the next immediate port, but not in the this port. So this is circulator. So I can use this circulator as an isolator by terminating this port using 50 ohms termination. Suppose if I fit this, then it is only 2-port device, it becomes 2-port device. When I match using a match termination, this is match termination. Using this match termination, if I close it 50 ohms, then I can use this isolator as a, this circulator as a isolator. Then because it is terminated, if I can give a RF input, I have a next port, immediate next port, I have a output. and suppose any reflected signal from this side, if it is applied, it will be in the next port, not this port. So reflected is not possible, this way is not possible, only this way is possible. So I can use it as an isolator. Sometimes isolator not available, I have a circulator, then I convert it in a circulator is converted into isolator. This is circulator. This is SS tuner or slide screw tuner. We are normally using this SS tuner to reduce the VSWR. So up to it is VSWR up to 20 can be tuned to a value of less than 1.02. So here is the one screw is there. I can rotate this. You can observe that will come inside the waveguide. See, it's coming. So there is a pin. So after certain value of, suppose I want some length, I can adjust this for this length, and then I can, opening this screw, I can slide this wherever. So I have to adjust this. At certain point we will reduce the VSWR of the system. Suppose I have 10 VSWR in some system, then I connect this, and by adjusting the sliding point and inserting the pin length, I can reduce the VSWR of the system. So I can vary this. After setting, you have to lock this, and pin length is also very important. How much length you are giving. By all these factors, I can reduce the VSWR. Slide screw tuners are used for matching purpose by changing the penetration and position of a screw in the slot provided in the center of the waveguide. Okay. This is your slotted section. So this is tunable probe. So this is the pickup point. I am inserting in this holder. This is a movable carriage. This one I can move this. This is slotted section. This is slotted section. This is movable carriage. This is tunable probe. So when I insert this tunable probe, after this I can lock this. After locking this, it will not come out. So I can vary this. So from here to here, from here this point to this point approximately, I can pick up the signal inside the waveguide. See, there is a slot, the provided slot. I will show. See, my screwdriver will go inside. So you observe, I will insert the screwdriver. See, my screwdriver is coming into this. When your pin is up to this, okay, this much 50% is okay. If your pin length is very more, it will go and touch to the body. Then it will grounded. It will not give you the output. So your pin always should be, pin length should be always smaller only. This is, it should be like this. I will insert and I will show. See, suppose I am inserting like this, it will not go and touch to the body. So now you observe that pin is not touching, it is 50% only, another 50% is empty. So this is how we are picking the RF signal in the waveguide means, so how much signal it pickups? You just imagine, it is like a river. This path, waveguide inside path is like a river. We are pick up a mug of water. Understand? It is a river of water. We are picking up a mug of water. We are not picking entire river water. So whatever we are receiving at tunable probe output is very small quantity. We are receiving in millivolts. Do not expect 2 volts, 4 volts like that. So it's very small quantity we are receiving. That is also after adjusting this exactly 50 ohms. By varying this, I can exactly set it to 50 ohms on observing the waveform on CRO or observing the power on VSWR meter. CRO is better because it is visual, amplitude increasing and decreasing by changing this impedance. This is what we are stub matching. We are matching the impedance. So when it is matches to 50 ohms, then we will get maximum output. That is correct way. And this slotted section, there is a scale above this, you can observe, and this is vernier scale. So that's it. Okay, this is directional coupler, multi-hole directional coupler. This is a 4-port device. So I will show you. This is port 1, this is port 2, port 3 and port 4. It is closed. Multi-hole directional couplers are useful for sampling a part of microwave energy for monitoring purpose and measure reflections and impedance. These consist of a section of waveguide with addition of a second parallel section of waveguide, thus making it a 4-port network. So I will show you that parallel. See, here is one, this line, and one more is stop. This is attached. However, the port is terminated with a matched load. See, this port is terminated with matched load. These two parallel sections are coupled to each other through many holes. Two parallel sections means this is one and this is one. This is separate. It is separate sections. So many holes, I will show you that holes are visible. See inside, so that there are holes. Many holes are there. That's what it's called, multi holes. There are holes inside. These two parallel sections are coupled to each other through many holes, almost to give uniform coupling. And these are available in different, see, this is 3 dB coupler, this is 3 dB, 6 dB available, 10 dB, 20 dB, 40 dB, different range couplers are available. So in this coupler we can measure insertion loss. Insertion loss means whatever the power applied at port 1 and what is the power measured at port 2, that is insertion loss. At the time you have to terminate with 50 ohms matched termination at coupling port. This is coupling port, port 3. So insertion loss is P1 by P2. 10 log P1 by P2 is insertion loss. And next we can do one more, that is directivity. Directivity is P2 by P1, reverse, that is directivity. And isolation also we can do, that is P2 by P3. This is P2 by P3 is isolation, and coupling port is this one only. So P1 by P3 is coupling. We can do all these 4 measurements. And this is E-plane T. This E-plane T is a series type T junction and consists of 3 sections. See here, 1, 2 and 3. So 3 port device joined together in order to divide or compare power levels. The signal entering the first port of this T, this T junction. This is a shape of T. See, this is a T shape, so it is called T. T junction will be equally dividing to second port and third port of the same magnitude but in opposite phase. Means whatever the power entering, it is equally divided. Example, 1 milliwatt power applied, half milliwatt, divide it in 2 parts. So both output magnitude is same, half milliwatt, but the phase is, comparing to input, it is out of phase, means 180 degree phase shifted. Okay. So also we can use it as a combiner. If there is a same two different same signal, so if you apply, the output is combined. We can use it as a combiner, splitter as well as combiner. So this is what E-plane T. I will show you H-plane T also. You just observe the differences. See, this is H-plane T. This is E-plane T. You observe E-plane T, H-plane T. This height is different, here it is different, and I will show in another angle. See, this height is more, this is small. See, H-plane and E-plane T's. And whenever you are connecting one waveguide to another, this is wrong. How this is same. See, like this only you have to connect, like this. Okay, same thing, 1:1. If you are connecting reverse, this is and this is not matching. If you are connecting like this, that is wrong. Okay, have to connect like this only, any waveguide you are connecting. So next I will tell about H-plane T. That E-plane is over, this E-plane T is over. So next H-plane T. Actually in this one there is a phase change, but in this one there is no phase change. This H-plane T, shunt type T, this one is shunt type. Junction for T junction for users in conjunction with VSWR meters, frequency meters and other detector devices like E-plane T. Same thing, the signal fed through first port of H-plane T, this is the first port, will be divided equally, to port 2, port 3. This is a port 1, you applied a 1 milliwatt, this is a half milliwatt, and in same phase also, same phase. What is the input phase? Here and here phase will match, there is no shift in the phase. The previous E-plane T, there is a out of phase, here in phase. Next, suppose if we combine these two, we will get one more T. See, like this, one is E, one is a H-plane T, we will get a magic T, correct? This is a combination of E and H-plane T is magic T. See, this is magic T. I will compare and show you. See, this is ditto, this portion. See, same, that is E-plane T. Suppose you want H-plane T, this portion, you remove this E-plane T, and bring H plane T. This will not match. See, this will not match. This is not like this. This is like this. This is H plane T. This is E plane T. Combining these two, I will get magic T. The same operation. Whatever the input is given, divided equally and out of phase, and whatever the input given here, that will this is E plane. So if you feed input, get output from these two ports and out of phase. This is H plane T. Here it is written. If you feed input with the same phase, equally divided power. And when you feed signal here, I am not getting here. When you feed input here, I am not getting here. So this will be used as a diplexer. Diplexer in antenna transceiver. One is receiving, one is transmitting. In that purpose, we can use this magic T. Okay, this is magic T. It is a 4-port device. 1, 2. This is first port. Port 1, port 2, port 3, and port 4. This is E plane. This is H plane. Okay. This is movable short. Movable short because I can move this fully anti-clockwise. You rotate it, it will come to edge. This is act like a shorting plate, short condition. I can move this by varying this, it will go inside. See, I am varying clockwise, so this will go inside. See, it is not edge, it will go inside. So if I rotate anti-clockwise, then it will come to edge. So you can make short, open conditions. So in previous, when I am showing detector mount, I shown this piece. Same thing. By varying this screw, it will go inside, outside. Then you can, that reflected signal may be in phase and out phase, that condition will change. When the signal is completely out phase, then transmitting signal at in phase, reflected signal out phase, means that will cancel out and the output is very low. When the transmitting signal and reflected signal in phase, the output signal strength increases. So that's what we can tune this. This is a movable short condition, open conditions we can do. And next is, this is match termination. This is a match termination. These all are single port devices, one port only. So this match termination we are using to match 50 ohms. Suppose you are doing a magic T experiment, you are giving input and collecting output, measuring the output here. Remaining two ports should be always terminate like this. You have to connect here, but you should connect in the same thing. See, this mouth and this should be properly matched like this, not like this. This is wrong connection. See, this is wrong, which is I am showing is wrong. This is correct. You have to connect like this and put a screws. 4 holes are there. I have to put a screws and one more hole. So match termination, wherever the terminals opens, there you have to close with 50 ohms matched terminations. And next is pyramidal waveguide horn antenna. I have here pyramidal waveguide horn antenna. This is your waveguide, pyramidal waveguide horn antenna. And I told we can measure the part of a signal in coupler. Suppose if you connect your antenna and want to measure the transmitting power of this antenna, I connect like this and I want to measure the transmitting power, I can keep my power meter here or power VSWR meter also possible. You connect a detector mount and measure the power in this port. This is a coupling port, and whatever the input you are connected, suppose example 0 dB, then here is the minus 3 dB because 3 dB coupler. So I will get minus 3 dB. Then I understand when here is minus 3, then my input is 0 dB because 3 dB coupler. So 0 dB is the transmitting power, I can say easily. So part of the power I can measure using a coupler. That also possible. I can explain in this horn antenna. This is a horn antenna. And next is gun oscillator. I will show you. Gun oscillator. This is your gun oscillator. So this is biasing voltage BNC connector, and this is mechanical tuning. By tuning this cavity inside mechanical cavity, RF output frequency will changes. It is not very linear. Some 8.2 to 12.4 in between. Normally gun oscillators output is around about 10 gigahertz. So 10, some particular 4 or 5 frequencies we can generate. It is not linear variations. 10.5 gigahertz, somewhere after this some place we are getting 11 gigahertz, 11.5, like that. We are not getting very linear. Very linear means 9, 9.1, 9.2, 9.3, 9.4, not this much linear we are getting, randomly. And you observe that gun diode inside is there. You can observe. Please do not touch this. These are very sensitive. See here the diode. Diode is installed using electrostatic pads. Very careful. Whenever we are installing, we have to take some guidelines. We have to follow. Simply we cannot install this diode by simple open hands. I cannot touch this. Go and touch this. Maybe electrostatic. Maybe that also causing damage of the diode. It's very costly. It's not cheaper. We are getting 4007 diode, 1 rupee or 2 rupees. It is not like that. Very high frequencies microwave diodes all are costly only. This is also one more diode I already shown. There is a symbol of anode and cathode. I cannot touch another end with this end also. We are not even touch with the hands. We have to take a tweezers and touch this. This is not a good habit to touch in open hands because of electrostatic. Okay. One more thing is pin modulator. This is your pin modulator. So this is one more type of connector, because in gun oscillator is BNC connector. This is TNC connector. This is threaded one. So connector is different. When you are connecting, you are not doing any interchange. So particularly modulator output should be connected here only, and bias voltage connected to gun oscillator only. In this pin modulator there is one diode inside. I will show that. See, diode is there. When modulation is connected to here, when positive voltage, not positive voltage, when the diode in forward condition, it is on, and open conditions means diode is off. So the process of on off, what happens? It is connected to have isolator. I will show. Have always this isolator will come to RF generator immediately. After this, I will connect this modulator also, like this. So what happens? Your RF generated signal will come after isolation. It will come to your pin modulator. that RF is modulated here, on and off switch is going on always. The output is also RF is on and off, on off always. So finally my detector detects this signal. When RF is on, I will get DC level, whatever the power of RF signal, that much envelope detector. And when there is no RF is off means 0 on 1, 0 on 1. Finally it is square wave. So it is square wave modulated, on off modulation. Clear say it is on off modulation. And next after pin modulator is isolator. This is isolator. Direction is given. This means in that direction only RF signal passing, and on opposite direction there is a 20 dB attenuation. For this isolator specification is 20 dB attenuation is there. So that means signal, suppose you are using a gun oscillator or klystron, whatever it may be, when you connect like this, the oscillator generates a signal and it should be passed in one direction, not in the opposite direction. So that reflections avoided towards generator. If any reflected signal goes towards a generator may fluctuate. It is generating some particular frequency, it may fluctuate. So that's what we are completely isolate the source and load parts. This is a source part, this side, and after this load and source are isolated. Isolated means separate, that is separate, this is separate. That's what it is called, isolator. This is isolator. See inside. This is two-port device. 2-port device is isolator. All 17 over. Only rectangular waveguide I am not shown. Fixed attenuator I am not shown because I don't have that particular piece. Remaining all I explained. I think you have no doubts. Okay, thank you. If you have any doubts, please comment on our channel. Definitely we will answer your question. Thank you. Please contact us for demo, quotations, service, projects, internship for students.